Welcome to another edition of Conversations with CBS Sports, where we sit down with some of the greatest names in sports, as well as some of the heaviest hitters in Hollywood.
No problem. This will be fun.
It will.
So tell me about the relationship with Mr. Martinez. How did it get started? How did you two meet?
I've known him for a very long time. I think when I started getting interested in playing football, originally on my freshman high school team, they had me play middle linebacker. And I was a terrible middle linebacker and the backup quarterback.
Oh, so you're a nasty type then, huh?
I was not nasty. I didn't play much. That was the problem. I wasn't nasty enough. Right. So I could always throw the ball. I had a decent arm, and but I didn't know how to throw the ball because I played baseball, pretty much growing up. We didn't play much football. But once I had kind of played football my freshman year in high school and really loved the game, I thought, man, this game's awesome. And I wanted to be a quarterback, so I had to figure out how to throw the football. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, right up the road, Coach Martinez had a quarterback receiver camp that he would hold in the summertime. He was the coach up at the College of San Mateo.
Now analyze what you're doing now.
That was nice.
Short stride,
Yep.
left shoulder closed,
Yep.
right? Put your foot down. There. See? When you start missing, look, even from that cheek to that cheek, you're falling.
I'm not for everybody, not everybody's for me.
How did you know Tom was for you and that you were for Tom?
I didn't.
When did you find out?
Probably when he was 16, when he would come back. When I give every player that I wind up coaching a quarter.
You give them a
I
quarter?
give them a quarter, and I tell them, this quarter is to call me, and call me when you need help. And if you're doing well.
You put the onus on them to call you?
Yes, sir.
Because?
Because I don't think it's my place to interfere with their growth and development. And so I give them a quarter, and I say, when you need help, I want and expect you to call me.
And has Tom been calling you?
Yes, he has.
For how many years?
For 21 years.
He always appreciated the students that he had that would continue to follow up with him. And look, you like every there's a batting coach in baseball, and there's a golf coach. You got a swing coach, and it's a very mechanical process, the throwing motion. And he really studied it. He really understood it. He really that's where his focus always was on the mechanics of playing quarterback, so that ultimately you can throw the ball accurately with as much velocity, as the potential that you have in your body. I mean, some guys can just rip it. I was always someone that had to work hard at my mechanics so I could throw it really the maximum velocity that I possibly could.
Well, too, when the ball's like, when I do stride in the hallway, the ball is so much deeper.
Yes.
Because all my momentum is,
exactly.
as opposed to this, I'm
Right.
losing 5-10% of the
That's
throw.
right. That's right. It'll shut down at the end.
I'd start throwing, and he'd say, well, this is what you got to do. And 15 minutes later, the ball was coming out much more crisp, spiral, accurate. And it was just those little things that he saw in me that he could correct. And then ultimately, I gained confidence that, man, if I just do it the right way, I can throw like that all the time. And that just, continued to build over the years.
Break it with the right side. See the balance difference?
Yeah.
That's all thrown in the hallway.
To me, I love to teach or coach anybody who's passionate and committed and wants to excel. Those are, to me, they're thoroughbreds.
There. Nice.
Yeah. I know, a little bit.
And the thing that I believe is that anytime you're throwing anything, if you're throwing a piece of Kleenex in the wastebasket, you have a target. And so the number of balls that a young man in 13 years old throws until he gets to be Tom Brady is probably 1 million. And if you, at every throw you made, had a target, and that's what I do with him. I say left shoulder, right shoulder, nose, forehead.
So wait a minute now. Have you had a bunch of parents calling you because the house is unclean because they're throwing Kleenex and wastebaskets all over the place?
Yeah. Well, if they miss, they better save their money.
Your guys are making it.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. If you got it, I mean, if you throw it and you're 8 feet away, you better go out for soccer. You know.
Best deep ball I've ever seen was the one you threw to Randy about 3 years ago.
It had the perfect amount of arc where it wasn't driven, because if it's on that flat angle, it's hard for the receiver to judge.
Yeah.
Because he thinks, oh, I've got it, and then the ball just keeps going.
Yeah.
The ones that come down,
yes.
where they're running hard, and then they look up and it just it comes
Down.
here,
Yeah.
as opposed to there.
So I understand that you're tech savvy now. You've taken all the notes that you've written from him and you've got them in your BlackBerry now, huh?
I always keep them handy. I have them on my BlackBerry. They're under my little applications, and you know, there's probably like 14 or 15 mechanical points that I always will scroll through. So sometimes when I'm sitting on the bus, you know, going to the game, or I just will look through them and say, okay, that's how my stride needs to be. This is where my right arm needs to be. You know, this is where my shoulder needs to point. So all those things that just continue to reiterate all the lessons that he's taught me over the years. He's a special human being, and he's just been a great friend, you know, to me. But like I said, it's not just the thing that I love is that it's not, hey, he treats me any different than he treated me when I was 12 years old. No, it's the same. He treats me like I was the 12-year-old kid that couldn't figure out the things that he was teaching me, and he gets on me for those things.
Timing down, and you're on the move. You got to get that foot down.
You know, all those students that have been lucky enough to be coached by him really got the same amount of love and coaching and support from him. And I think that's what everybody really appreciates.
How proud are you of that 12-year-old?
Well, the part that I'm most proud of, and I think most people don't know, is that I'm more proud of him as a person, as a man, as a leader. He's a better person than he is a quarterback. And everybody says he's the best quarterback there is.